Welcome once again to the Ahern Video Podcast. Today I want to provide an update on the independent contractor dilemma. Yes, it's getting worse. Yes, IRS is making headway. Yes, the federal courts in certain geographic areas have deemed that independent contractors are employees. Yes, it's getting worse in California. Yes, with what happened with Hub International recently, and then with the reversal on FedEx, it's sending a rippling effect. Yes, the union's starting to get another stranglehold. So what do? If you're an independent contractor company and you want to try and weather the storm, you need to make sure that your contract within the next 3 to 6 weeks is reviewed by someone that specializes in transportation. You also need to look to an outside service that works a lot with independent contractors to make sure that you don't become another target. And then you need to structure your operations based upon coming outside of your comfort zone to do things differently. Because here's the reality of the situation. If that independent contractor hauls exclusively for you, if that independent contractor's majority of income is directly from you, that independent contractor, for all practical purposes, can be deemed to be an employee. I hear all the time that my attorney says don't worry about it. Well, if your attorney says you don't have an exposure, get an opinion letter in writing from the law firm. I guarantee you're not going to get one. Or if you get one, it's going to have so many caveats in there because there's nobody that can assure you that your independent contractor status is not going to change tomorrow. We hear that IRS is attacking the independent contractor model because there's so much fraud. And there was, and there is, with lots of other companies. But in the trucking industry, 9 out of 10 times, it's a driver that wants to be an independent contractor. He buys his own tractor. The problem is now if you help with the financing, if you offer any type of additional benefits, they say that that's really an employee. And even if you have a statement that says I'm an independent contractor, I purchase my own truck, that truck's in my own name, the majority of your income is going directly to that particular, is derived particularly from that, there is a possibility that your status can change, so prepare for it. I think the independent contractor model is the backbone of the trucking industry. If you look at where we're at today, we say how quickly the economy's rebounded, how unemployment is an all-time low, and you read all this stuff and you get caught up in the hype. The reality is we're broke. Government's broke. Tax loopholes have been closed. They're going to continue to be closed. And what do? You change a model that's been approved for years and you tax it and you get more federal income tax. And you also get more revenue tax from the states. So the states and IRS are bonding together. The other problem you have is that your insurance company. If you have an audit from IRS or you have an audit from the State Department of Revenue and they recategorize your contractors as employees, the insurance company then is going to go back and start billing you for workers' compensation. Think about that. I think it's in the state of Arkansas now. It went to the Supreme Court and all independent contractors are deemed to be employees. I think in North Carolina there's a similar, but it's going across the nation. So you got to be prepared. And you need to have alternatives. And you need to structure yourself in such a way that you don't become another statistic. Are you immune because you're a big company? No. I think they've actually stated that we're going to start developing case laws with smaller companies, then we're going to go after the larger ones. And look what's happened with FedEx and look what's happened with Hub. Is the union becoming a strong, dominant force again? Yes, they are. They're going in and promising higher wages and better benefits, et cetera, et cetera. And it's a force that's going to be reckoned with, so you need to deal with that accordingly. If you have a happy company and you have happy employees and you're taking care of those employees, there's no reason to have a union. if you have unhappy employees and you're not taking care of your employees and you don't treat your employees as family, you're going to have a problem. The larger you are, the harder it is to let people know that you care. But I'll tell you this, you treat people with respect, you treat them fairly, and you're going to be okay. This independent contractor situation is real. It's dangerous. It could put you out of business tomorrow. And you got to constantly change the model. You got to keep constantly changing things. You need to work with a law firm that knows what they're doing. You need to restructure your contracts, restructure your agreements. The fact that you're not under forced dispatch, that doesn't mean a hell of beans. So if you want to survive the independent contractor crisis, you're going to have to change. Until next time, thank you for attending the podcast.